resistance, basically. Because that reverse T3 will also fit into the keyhole on your cell, but it doesn't turn your little cellular engine on.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, yeah. Just like if you can have a Honda, but not all Honda keys are the same. They'll still fit in the ignition, but not only the right one will turn your engine on. The wrong one will just take up the spot. And if you ever had a key broken in your door, or you know, forget, you're in trouble. And so that's what this does. The reverse T3 gets in the cell and gets stuck.
And prevents anything else.
And prevents anything else from going in, and then that can slow the metabolism down. So that's what this particular test tests for, is the kind of the all the way down the chain type thing. So.
And how does thyroid affect weight?
Because thyroid is the controller of your metabolism, it will affect weight because, you know, you're just, once again, you're not burning the calories. Your cells are not burning the calories that, you know, you burned whenever you were a teenager.
If you're exercising.
You know, even if you're exercising.
I have a friend that exercises every day, and
Yep.
she has a thyroid. She knows she has a thyroid
Yep.
problem.
Yeah.
And just can't lose the weight.
Especially if you're exercising. So one of the interesting things is whenever you do a lot of caffeine, you're putting your body under stress. When your body is under excess stress, your body will make reverse T3, more reverse T3, to slow. It's almost like a self-preservation mechanism.
Trying to relax the body.
Well, yeah, kind of like we're designed to be able to cope with all kinds of situations. I likened it to whenever there's prisoners of war, and they get, you know, captured. That's obviously a ridiculously high stress situation. They don't know when they're going to get their next meal. Their body, the stress response to that slows their metabolism down so that they can survive longer without food. So we put ourselves under stress, and our body goes into self-preservation mode and slows our metabolism down. So that's one of the interactions with high stress, caffeine, which creates stress in our system, and our metabolism actually slowing down. Now a moderate amount of caffeine, so like your green teas and things like that, have a thermogenic effect, actually speeding up the metabolism a little bit, but you know, there's an excess, you know, kind of like over 2 cups of coffee a day, some even say 1 cup depending on your sensitivity, can get you over that hump and actually start slowing your metabolism down.
That's interesting.
So cortisol is the factor, I'm thinking that...
Cortisol is the one factor, the one adrenal hormone they've isolated that will disconnect your brain from your thyroid and also get your body making reverse T3.
So if you drink caffeine and you're real sensitive to it, your body will actually make the adrenals produce that cortisol, which will therefore make the reverse T3, slow your metabolism down, and then weight gain. So there's our connection. So it's thyroid, adrenals, weight gain. Okay.
Okay.
Any
I'm going to hand the
questions?
floor back over to
Okay.
Dr. Reese. I'm going to step out.
Okay. All right. Anybody have any questions? And how did that make sense to you, everybody?
Yes.
A great book that y'all might want to get is, this book is wonderful. It's Wisdom, The Wisdom of Menopause by Christine Northrup. And she talks about what you go through, like premenopausal. She talks about PMS. She addresses like every stage of a woman's life. Also menopause, what happens when you start going through menopause, which is, she talks about the weight gain, and she talks about, because the hormones are just fluctuating so rapidly when you're going through this, they call it perimenopause. The hormones are fluctuating so much and so rapidly that it's very hard to control your weight at that time. So she gives you, you know, things to do, best thing to do, make sure you keep exercising, make sure you have a good diet, make sure you're not getting a lot of sugars in your system. And then she also talks about what happens after you go through menopause. During our cycle, at a certain time in our cycle, and it's usually when the estrogen and progesterone are the highest, it engages the basal ganglia, which is the part of the brain that makes women more intuitive. She talks about that. It also is when the FSH, follicle stimulating hormone from the hypothalamus, is connecting with the luteinizing hormone for the ovaries that makes us ovulate. Well, after menopause, that follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone stay at a very high, even level. Now, during our normal cycles, that FSH, follicle stimulating hormone, and luteinizing hormone, wax and wane. They go up and they go down, up and down. When they go to their peak, again, it stimulates that basal ganglia, making us mothers more intuitive. After menopause, that stays high, and we stay in an intuitive state, which is interesting, because she says it completely changes our personalities. So we have that, you know, and it's interesting because it's like, you know, have you ever done that with your kids? And it's like, man, I just feel like there's something wrong. I just know something's going on. So intuitively, you know that, and there's times of the month whenever that's actually going to be higher than other times in the month. But after menopause, it stays high, which is why grandmas are so important.
That's why I have something to look forward to after menopause.
That's right. That's right. And they have proven that communities, tribes that have the grandmothers where they live the longest in those communities, they have a very low mortality rate because of the grandma's interaction.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So there's something, you know, amazing how we're made. Anyhow, thanks for joining us. I'm proud of everybody. It's like, wow, we almost. It's great this week, so that's really great. And anybody have any questions about anything?
I do.
Okay.
For exercise, I've been doing 3 miles a day, just trying to build up my endurance, but I'm so tired because I'm not sleeping that I've been dividing it in half.
Okay.
Mile and a half in the morning,
Okay.
shortly after breakfast, then a mile and a half after dinner.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's stimulating me, helping contribute to sleeplessness, or if it's best to have exercise on one bomb.
What time do you have dinner?
It was late last night, so I didn't get on the treadmill till like 8, the second half.
Okay, so too close to sleep time.
Yeah.
Yes, that you're correct. You're going to be best if you do exercise in the evening. If you want to make sure that it's like at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah, no later than 6. Otherwise, it will overstimulate.
Okay.
How long have you been not sleeping? Long
Since
time?
last week.
Last week?
Yeah,
Okay.
just I'm not sleeping.
Are you taking melatonin or anything for
Mhm.
that? You
Yeah.
might. Wait. Do you have melatonin at home?
I don't think so. I was thinking about the other, you were talking about earlier, the pregnenolone and melatonin.
The melatonin will help you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Helps match.
Mhm.
Does it? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
that.
I'm thinking the melatonin
Okay.
will really help you. And the melatonin also, it's a protector because it downregulates that estrogen. It helps to get rid of the extra estrogen too. So when we quit sleeping, like when we go through menopause, the estrogen just goes crazy. You know, so yeah, let's do the melatonin. Okay.
So we don't have to be crazy.